What's up and welcome back to Rumor Has It Official. Let's get straight into talking about 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. This is season 5, episode 2, and the title of this episode is Caught in the Crossfire. Let's start off with Colt. So Colt reminds me of a pet hamster. I don't know why. I don't know why, but okay. So moving on, Jess was annoyed with Colt because he hasn't told his mother about her. He makes sure to broadcast that they were intimate. The next morning, he brings her breakfast and they talk about the subject again. He's worried about what his mother will think with her being Brazilian and all. In the next scene, they go out and explore Chicago. Colt says to Jess, "Have you dated anyone from America?" And Jess says yes, she's been on plenty, which Colt says that makes him feel jealous. Jess only likes Colt because he likes to be intimate just as much as she does. She says that she's the boss in the bedroom. Now, as they're talking on this boat ride, Colt loves to paint Larissa as the criminal. He loves playing victim. He tells Jess that Larissa was arrested several times for domestic violence. Jess tells him that she's sorry to hear that, telling Colt that he is such a good guy. Jess tells the cameras that she doesn't like his past situation, but he has a new life now. Let's move on to Paul and Karini. So they are packing up to move to America. I'm really surprised that Karini is still with Paul because during her pregnancy, she seemed fed up with him. Paul claims that he'll be able to better support Karini and the baby, but I doubt it because let his mom tell it, it's like in so many words, she's tired of taking care of Paul. Paul was living with his parents before he moved to Brazil. So I think that he wants to move because he may feel he can hide it better, being a slacker. I wouldn't be surprised if the whole time he was in Brazil that his mom was sending him money and helping him out. Karini says that she's excited to go to America, but nervous. Karini doesn't want to stay in America permanently and says that if she goes to America and he doesn't step it up and provide, she wants to go back home. Comment down below your thoughts and let's move on to Kalani and Asuelu. So Asuelu in this scene is going to play volleyball with his friends. He is aware that Kalani's dad wants him to stop playing and Kalani wants him to stay home. But being with his friends reminds him of home, and he says that it's too important to stop going. Playing volleyball is more important than your presence at home? Okay. You tell me what bill is volleyball paying? He takes a break from playing and tells his friends how hard the transition has been in America. I honestly feel that he needs to go back home because he's not willing to adjust to America and the way in which things are done here. So now Asuelu is saying that he misses home, that he's homesick, and he wants to take his kids there to experience his culture. I get it, but the kids are still very young and won't understand what's going on. So why not kind of wait till they're a little bit older to take them back? I believe it's all an excuse because he wants to go home. Asuelu says that it is expected that they bring a gift when they visit. Now, I'm wondering, is that really what it's all about? I'm really questioning his true motives for wanting to go back home. Comment down below your thoughts and let's move on to Andre and Elizabeth. So Elizabeth hasn't really spoken to Andre after he made that announcement to her family. And when she gets home, they start to discuss everything and Andre really doesn't care. He honestly feels he's in the right about everything. He tells her whoever is going to come will be there, but if they don't, it's their problem. Andre tells Elizabeth during their confessional with the camera crew that he was sorry for mentioning the wedding at her father's birthday party. He tells Elizabeth that the wedding is all about them and that her dad is going to pay for it. Like, please tell me, who does he think he is? So in this next scene, Elizabeth goes to sit poolside with her sister and sister-in-law. Elizabeth comes off spoiled, entitled, and most likely is attracted to Andre because she's just like him. She only hides her ways a bit more. Now, we all see right through that. I feel like I see right through her, and she plays on her father, and it's so sickening to me. Elizabeth tells the camera crew that her family needs to remember that Andre really sacrificed a lot to marry her and come to America to start from scratch. Okay, so because of that, that means it's okay for him to mooch off of your family. and bring nothing to the table? I mean, what does she want us to do? Give Andre a cookie or start him a GoFundMe for his bravery of leaving Moldova and sacrificing so much? Oh, please. Like, just stop. Give me a flipping break. Nobody really cares that he, quote unquote, sacrificed everything to come down here. He's not doing anything. He's not contributing. He's not bringing anything to the table. So I don't even want to hear it. He didn't even try. Elizabeth says that she feels stuck in the middle between her family and husband. But I think if she feels that way, then she should stop running to her family for everything and venting about her problems. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts, and let's move on to Larissa. So Larissa applied for a green card, and in the next scene, Larissa and her friend go pole dancing. Larissa had me rolling when she said that she was conservative and was raised a Catholic. I think that's how she pronounced it. I was like, wow. I need this girl to really get it together because she just makes up her own words, and it's just hilarious to me. Larissa enjoys the pole dancing classes and even jokes saying maybe she should get a job as a stripper. Or was she joking? I don't know. Once they finish the class, her friend says to Larissa, would she be open to a blind date? And Larissa says something along the lines that she wouldn't care at this point if the man was blind. Wow. Desperate much? I think she's looking for a man to take care of her. Larissa says she's looking for stability and someone that she can build with. She sees dollar signs when her friend describes the guy as smart and the man had multiple businesses. Like, you just seen her eyes. It looked like they just lit up dollar signs. And I really just can't wait to see if this blind date is actually going to unfold. Comment down below your thoughts, and let's move on to Angela. So Angela goes to see her gynecologist because Angela claims she started her period. She thinks that this is a sign that she'll be able to have a baby with Michael. Now, the doctor tells Angela at age 54, it is very unlikely that the bleeding she's having is a result of her being on her period. She goes on to tell Angela it could mean something is wrong, that something wrong is going on that they need to figure out. Angela mentions the fertility clinic that she went to in Nigeria where the doctor told her that she had one egg. It makes me wonder if that doctor was told to lie about the one egg, or if that was actually a real doctor. I was no more good when the doctor said to Angela that she's not sure what that doctor was seeing, but it sounds more like an ovarian cyst. She advises her to have another ultrasound. So she goes on to say at 54, it would be much more difficult physically. The doctor tells the camera crew that she knows that Angela is expecting her to say that she can get pregnant, but hopefully after doing the ultrasound, the abnormal bleeding and with the possible cyst, that she's hoping that she won't have to give her any bad news. During the ultrasound, Angela makes a joke about the scope being bigger than Michael's private parts. And I love the fact that the doctor remained professional. Angela is very trashy and has no class. You don't talk like that. I just don't understand. She just has no filter over her mouth. She's just disgusting. Disgusting. But back to the ultrasound, the doctor doesn't detect any cysts, but a fibroid, which is a small tumor that can grow in your uterus. Now, Angela keeps talking about this over and over. She wants to know about this flipping egg, and the doctor says that she doesn't see any signs of an egg. I sure hope that everything turns out to be okay with her health, though. You know, she gets on my nerves, but I would never wish that on her. So I hope that everything is okay with Angela. Comment down below your thoughts, and let's move on to Tanya and Sinjin. Okay, so I wasn't expecting to see these two back another season. At the tell-all, it was kind of evident that these two were on two completely different paths in life, and that there were so many reasons why they shouldn't have married each other. Now, in this scene, they go ice skating, and Tanya was in a car accident. So Sinjin is pushing her on ice in a wheelchair. They talk about their journey together up until this point, all the disappointments, and them even deciding to marry after all of that. And in the next scene, they show Sinjin and Tanya are moving out of the shed. Tanya says that she has enough savings to get them by, but as long as Sinjin hops on getting a job. So tell me, why doesn't he have a job by now? And why are they moving if no one is employed? Sinjin has a work permit, so what's the flipping excuse? Tanya was bartending before she got in the car accident, so why wasn't he doing the same? Why aren't we both working? Why are all of these 90-day men freeloaders and have no ambition? Get a job, like they're just okay with just doing nothing. I just don't understand what's going on. Tanya's mom says that she's concerned because they don't have jobs. Sinjin has a lot of excuses. None make one bit of sense. And as soon as he got that work permit, he should have been on his grind finding a job. I just don't get it. Comment down below your thoughts. Let's move on to Colt and Jess. So Colt and Jess are going to meet up with her friends who are also Brazilian. Colt says that it's very important that he makes a good impression because he wants them to all like him. So initially things seem to be going well, but then the questions start to flow in from her friends. He tells them that his mother lives with him and that he takes care of her. And so Jess's friends want to know, how old is he? And one of the friends tells the camera crew that, in her opinion, guys that still live with their moms is kind of weird. Jess tells her friends that Colt hasn't told his mom about her because she's Brazilian. And Colt says, to be fair, he was married to a Brazilian and he's recently divorced and it didn't end well. He then is about to go into his rehearsed sob story saying that they would always fight a lot. So the friends are like, do you think that you will have that same outcome, those same problems with Jess? And Colt says that he hopes not. So far, so good. So Jess starts telling her friends in Brazilian about this woman that calls Colt all the time. Colt claims that she's his friend from the gym, and her friends say, since when does he go to the gym? I was no more good. I said, she ain't even right for that. Colt says that Vanessa was there for him during his divorce from Larissa. He goes on to say, even though he told Jess that he would stop talking to Vanessa, he's not going to right now. He felt like he had to lie. Colt wants to know about Jess's past from her friends. And once her friends check him, the look on Colt's face, the other personality, the other side to him was really dying to come out. You could tell. You could tell that he was agitated by them. He likes Brazilian women, but I don't think that they are a fit for his personality. Brazilian women seem to be very headstrong, very strong women who like to control their own narrative. And Colt wants a woman he can control. That's not a match to me, in my opinion. Colt seems to think that her friends are super defensive, and it makes him think that Jess is hiding something even the more. So her friends mention a Brazilian party, and Jess wants to go with her friends, but Colt says that he doesn't want to go. He'd prefer to go back to the hotel. Jess had me weak when she said that she was upset because Colt is like an old man, a grandpa, and just wants to stay home. Colt says that his idea of a fun and romantic night is going back to the hotel, having drinks, and being intimate with Jess. Her friends feel Colt is trying to control her. Comment below your thoughts on that scene, and let's move on to Kalani and Asuelu. So Asuelu takes Kalani on his idea of a romantic date. Obviously, he doesn't know what a romantic date is because he's a kid, not a grown man. The flowers, they were a nice gesture, but he takes her to an axe throwing range. So she gets pretty and dolled up, but I only feel that he did this so that he could butter her up, so he can bring up the fact that he wants to go home and visit his family. He could have took her to a nice dinner. Now, she was super excited until she pulled up and saw what they would be doing. This date was all about him and what he would enjoy. Now, there was nothing wrong with the date, but it just wasn't romantic. It wasn't a romantic date. And she wasn't dressed for that type of date that they went on. Because that can be a fun date. But like, let me know what we're doing so that way I can have my jeans, my tennies on, have my casual wear on. But she has a dress on. She did her hair and her makeup. So she probably was looking forward to a nice dinner. So that was just like, I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's just really hard for me to see him as a man. He's talking and saying that he misses home and feels homesick. Kalani says that she's worried about the cost of the plane ticket when he brings up missing home and wanting to go back home to visit, right? So as she's talking and expressing about how much these tickets would cost, Asuelu is saying that he knows, but does he really though? I don't think he does. I would have told him, if you want to go back home to visit, then it's your responsibility to work hard, maybe get another job, and make extra hours to fund this trip. I don't think that it's wise for her to tap into their savings. Kalani says to him that she just wants to make sure that they don't go there, spend all that they have, and then come back home and struggle to make ends meet. All he can say is that, I promise you, it's going to be fun and we will come back safe. That wasn't her concern, though. He is not mature enough to even really comprehend what she's saying, and it's really sad. He then goes on to say to her, then they will need to bring money or at least something to present to his family. Kalani says that she doesn't have the best relationship with Asuelu's family because they only contact them about money. She adds that she will never send them the amount that they want. And they also want things like cows, and they ask for large sums of money. So I don't know what their impression is. Of course, probably the same thing as anybody else that lives out of the country. They think Americans are rich and they have all this money. But your son is working a part-time job serving frozen yogurt on a platter. So, he doesn't have anything to give to you. And she's probably getting a lot of help and support from her family to get by, because I don't know if she's even working. I don't even think she's working. She's probably a full-time mom. Comment down below your thoughts, and let's move on to Paul and Karine. So Paul video calls his mom and says, will she be there to pick him, Karine, and the baby up from the airport? His mother tells him yes, but she's worried because Paul doesn't have a job or a place for them to stay. Paul then takes this opportunity to tell his mother that this is a very stressful time for him and wants to know if they can stay with her. Now you tell me why this dude didn't already have this worked out. Why are they literally about to hop on a flight to go to America? Like that day they will be leaving to go home to America, and you don't have any plan. You just banked on your mom saying yes. His mother says that it's impossible, and also goes on to say, one, the house is too small. And then she says that he wouldn't leave if she allowed him to stay. She tells him it's way past time for him to go off on his own and be responsible. Paul's mother goes on to say that she can help him with a stay at a hotel for about a week or so. She goes on to say this help is temporary, not permanent, adding that she wishes that he would get it together. While Paul was begging his mom for a place to stay, Karine goes to talk to her mom. Her mother is very emotional with the thought of her daughter and grandson moving to America, saying that Karine has never been out of the country. Karine says saying goodbye to her mom is hard, but she felt the need to be strong and not show any emotion. She was trying to be strong for her mother. I truly believe that Karine is giving him this opportunity to see if he will be able to step it up, and if not, she'll go back home and leave him behind in America. The thing is, hopefully she gets a side hustle and saves some money, because Paul might not help get her back home just to keep her in America. Comment down below your thoughts, and let's move on to Andre and Elizabeth. So this Moldova trip / wedding that Andre is planning is coming up soon, and Elizabeth in this scene goes alone to guilt trip her father into paying. I have to say this scene really made me sick to my stomach to see Elizabeth's grown tail play on her father's love for her. This man plays tough, but has a real soft heart and would do anything for his daughter, anything for his children. You can tell, and she knows that. She starts crying, and that instantly softens her father's heart, and he agrees to fund this wedding. Okay, Elizabeth is just a splitting image of Andre. That's why she's attracted to him. She is a spoiled, entitled brat who probably was using her father and used to being taken care of long before Andre got into the picture. When Elizabeth's father says, how is she going to fund the wedding? She uses that opportunity to see if her father would. He tells his daughter that she's just taking him for granted, and he's surprised that she didn't make Andre come to him. He feels Andre should be the one to come to him, and I completely agree. Elizabeth tells her dad, honestly, she doesn't want her dad to have to pay for it, and she's a liar. She's trying to appease her husband, and the fact that she's there doing it only means that she wants her father to fund the wedding. She really disgusted me in this scene using her father. When she gets emotional, her father says when he saw her like that, all his defenses went down. He tells Elizabeth that he's going to be there for her and pay for the wedding. She is so wrong. Comment down below your thoughts. Let's move on to Colt. So Jess tells her friends that she's going to skip the party and go back to the hotel with Colt. The look on his face is like, now what? When she says it, she's like, I'm going to go back with Colt. And he has this, like, he does his eyebrow up and he does this thing like, yeah, she's coming back with me. Now what? Type of thing. So he then kisses her on her hand in front of the friends. She says that she made the decision because it's Colt's first time in Chicago. She tells her friends to have fun without her. Her friend tells the camera crew that she feels Jess is making a mistake, that some of her concerns are what he went through with his ex-wife. She's hoping the same doesn't happen to her friend. Colt says that he feels great, that he won, and that Jess is going back to the hotel with him. He adds that he's happy that he didn't cave in because he would have done that with Larissa. Now, on the way to the hotel, Colt calls himself checking Jess, talking about, you understand your boyfriend came to Chicago to see you, not to party with your friends. Jess says that her and Colt don't have much in common because she's more social and Colt is like a stay-at-home, play video games and watch cartoons type of dude. She adds Colt is boring. So my thing is, why be boyfriend and girlfriend if you have nothing in common? Sex shouldn't be everything and can't be the only thing holding a relationship together. Colt wants to control this girl and wants Jess to always put their relationship first. You can be in a relationship, but also you're an individual and you don't have to be all up under a person 24/7. She should be able to have a social life and time to hang with her friends. Jess says that Colt is boring and doesn't respect women. She adds maybe now she understands why his relationship didn't work out with Larissa. He goes off in the car about her friends. He's like venting and saying that they interrogated him, and Jess tells him it's because of his past. Colt is like, well, what about your past? I don't know anything about you. She tells him her past is normal. They arrive to the hotel and Jess tells him to stop because she doesn't like the situation they're in right now. And the way these two were in the elevator and Colt was looking up, I was no more good. Colt is a freaking psycho. Comment down below and let's move on to Tanya and Sinjin. So these two irritate me. A lot of these couples irritate me this season. So in this scene, they go over to talk to Tanya's sister. They update her on their new place and then they decide to bring up stuff that they should be discussing privately. Sinjin doesn't have a good track record of being responsible and holding a job. And I don't know what Tanya is doing. I believe I heard her say something about school. Tanya, during their confessional, says Sinjin has a drinking problem, and that makes two of them because so does Tanya. This relationship is a toxic mess. Why are these two together? I don't foresee him stepping up, and I feel like if she does wait around, she'll be waiting around for a very long time. Comment down below your thoughts, and let's move on to Andre and Elizabeth. So Elizabeth gets back from her dad's and tells Andre that her father agreed to pay. Now, before she can tell him, he's the one that brings it up, talking about, so how did it go? And he seems very confident that the answer is yes, smiling and rubbing his hands together. So she tells him that her father said yes, and then he goes on to say how much. He says the big question is what's the budget, because it's going to cost thousands of dollars to have a wedding in Moldova. Andre cares nothing about what Elizabeth is expressing to him, and he keeps saying how much, 50 grand? And Elizabeth says that we didn't discuss an amount. So did you know that this lowlife says, I'm just going to go big and don't worry about it? Elizabeth tells the camera crew that Andre's initial reaction when she told him was entitled. She can shut up too and stop playing victim because she's just like her husband. She should have made Andre go to her father if he needed his father-in-law's help that bad. Elizabeth tells Andre that he needs to thank her father, and he doesn't even acknowledge that. He dismisses that. And so then she's like, well, I'm going to go and give the baby a bath. He's like, yeah, you go do that. Go give the baby a bath. Like, he really thinks he's running things. And I mean, obviously he is, because she doesn't check him. She doesn't challenge him. She doesn't hold him accountable. She doesn't make him step up. She doesn't make him apologize. He will do something wrong to her family and then apologize to her. No, you need to be man enough and go to your father-in-law and whoever you have offended, and you need to apologize to them. Quit going through Elizabeth to do it. That's why they don't like you. That's why the relationship is the way that it is. So these two are really getting on my nerves. They got on my nerves the last time I saw them on 90 Day, but they're getting on my nerves again. Let me just say that I forgot how bad they got on my nerves, and now I'm starting to remember. Let's move on to Angela. Now, I completely understand that Angela takes care of her mother and her mother is a part of her life, but I honestly wouldn't put my mom on TV if she was ill, just out of respect. That's just me. Angela tells her mother that she had her period. So her mom says, are you going through menopause? And Angela says, no, mother, I'm 54. I know I look good for 54. I about fell out. I was no more good. I'm like, yes, Angela, you look amazing, girl. You look amazing for 54. Her mom feels like she should get a biopsy to see what's going on. So Angela still thinks that she can carry a baby, and she just needs to stop. During this scene, she tells her mom that she plans to go and marry Michael in Nigeria and wants her mom's blessing. Her mom gives her the blessing and says her blessing really doesn't matter because she knows her daughter. Her daughter would do it anyway. She didn't think Angela would actually marry Michael. Whatever that means, I don't know, but I'm not getting into that one. So I really need to hear your thoughts on 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. This is season 5, episode 2. The title of this episode is Caught in the Crossfire. Don't forget to comment down below your thoughts. Give this video a big thumbs up for me. Share it with a friend who also loves watching 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified on the next time I make an upload. And I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.